Hey everybody, Earthmatic here again with another episode of the Cryptopolitan podcast. And today's guest is David. David, how are you?
Doing well, thanks, Earl. How about you?
Oh, fantastic. It's been a heck of a day here, but let's jump right into it, shall we? Tell
Sounds
us
good.
about your project, but let's keep it simple to start, and then we can deep dive and get as nerdy as you'd like.
Yeah, for sure. I'm David Doss. I've been in crypto for about 7 going on 8 years,
Mhm.
and I'm the founder of CKC Fund. What we do is digital asset management and blockchain program management. So we manage liquid portfolios of crypto investments, and
Oh,
we consult
fantastic.
and advise on blockchain.
Gotcha, gotcha. So for the side where you're helping advise on investments, are you showing them where to stake it? Are you showing them where to swap it? Are you showing them like Forex? Like what types of pieces of the puzzle do you fill in for the client?
Yeah, so we manage. We are a manager of digital asset portfolios that can
Mhm.
range from providing research and intel on the markets to actually actively managing investment fund portfolios, for example. And we tend to focus on the broader altcoin space. So focusing on, for example, what we call kind of high beta type strategies of investing into altcoins that can kind of strategies that can help you find the next Bitcoin, so to speak, and then
Oh,
also
fantastic.
kind of more momentum strategies that can help to identify sort of the flavor of the week, flavor of the month, sort of a thing.
Gotcha. Is there any particular type of client that you guys prefer to kind of work with, or is it any size, anytime, anywhere, or is there a minimum portfolio size, et cetera, et cetera? Is it like, yeah, so who are you trying to serve here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we support a variety of groups, including high net worth individuals, family offices, more
Hmm.
kind of crypto native organizations, say crypto exchanges or crypto foundations, organizations that have some sort of crypto treasury, for example, as well
Cool.
as more institutional trading desks that are maybe more of a fund of funds or similar that are essentially allocating into multiple strategies at the same time.
Very cool. So, what have you seen in the market lately? What's new and exciting in the space?
Gosh, well, a whole lot in the last month. Certainly, we've had kind of a very transformative month in the crypto market for sure. In November, some I think some key themes. There was been a lot of activity around US based companies and or companies that were in the crosshairs of potential US litigation or legal action. So with the Trump election and subsequent announcement of possible or speculation on possible low to no tax regimes for US crypto projects or for investments
Hmm.
involving US crypto projects, and then also with the announcement of Gary Gensler's resigning and other potential resignations. There was a lot of activity around sort of more U.S. adjacent type of projects and ones that had either ties to the U.S. market or potential U.S. legal action involving them. So that's been
Gotcha.
one huge theme, and then another has also, I mean, certainly it's been meme coin central here for meme coins, speculative, prediction markets, these sorts of things. And what we find interesting is some of the sort of the more infrastructure plays around the meme economy, the prediction economy as well.
Hmm. All right. Well, that those are two kind of fairly different architectures for investing. I'm an old school forex investor myself, so the first one was more towards traditional news based
Mm,
that type of investment, and the other one's more
mm.
towards like analytical type, like by the numbers here. Let's check out the charts, et cetera, on the meme side. Are you finding one is more favorable over the other in terms of where the customers are asking to allocate in terms of like, is one more numbers based versus, news based, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it depends on the folks involved and the priorities, right? So for more, say more of a discretionary strategy that's more focused on sort of fundamental analysis,
Hmm.
long-term utility, long-term value, that can be more uh, potentially more people or institutions who gravitate more towards that longer term
Fundamental
horizon.
style
You know,
analysis. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, fundamental style is for fundamental types of people, I guess would be the
Hmm.
simple way to put it, right? But what that can mean is, either people who or groups who prefer fundamental style investing in general for their stocks and their real estate and whatnot, or entities that are kind of more bought into the crypto space and who see specifically fundamentally, long-term value in the crypto space. On the more, to your point, more kind of technical analysis,
Yes.
charts and pricing models. This is, it tends to be more a shorter term time horizon.
Hmm.
Also does tend to lend itself more towards systematic strategies that are, automated or semi-automated. So that can appeal more towards folks with a shorter term time horizon and or towards those who have a bit more of an institutional type of a mindset of sort of very rule-based investing to keep things simplified.
Gotcha, gotcha. With the rise of AI, are you seeing more lean towards the technical side versus the fundamentals these days, or what do you think?
Well, I would say I personally I proceed with caution around the intersection between AI and crypto.
Hmm.
I think there's an opportunity to have think of it also kind of like the self-driving car versus the driving assist on something like a Tesla, right?
Right,
I think
right.
if it's fully automated, personally, I don't see us being there yet. It could be
Yeah.
something where, it's looking great, day one, day two, day three, but all of a sudden, day 20, there could be some total wipeout scenario. To me, if you're fully relying on an emerging technology like AI to fully handle a emerging asset class like crypto, you've got
Hmm.
this kind of convergence of not knowing what you don't know,
Right.
times two, really, or
Yeah.
squared.
Well, it just
So
it
it
just
can
increases the square footage of the unknown, right? So it's just
exactly.
there's
I
more
like
of
that.
the uh-oh.
I might use that square footage of the unknown. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love it. So fantastic. Well, this is really cool. It's not every day I get to talk to someone who's, as knowledgeable as yourself in the trading space and talking about
for
this sort
sure.
of thing in a fund, right? So that's interesting space. Um,
For sure.
what's interesting on my end is that I've noticed that because we're doing all these interviews and I'm getting a lot of
Mm,
traction on this, people are
yeah.
interested in the space.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that there's been a bit of a maturity in terms of utility across the board, right? It's not just like you
Mm,
said, meme coin central all the time, all day, every day. Well,
mm,
this was a couple of years ago, that's all it was. And
mm,
I'm seeing actual real utility. I'm seeing real utility in
mm,
government. I'm seeing real utility in just like just in the data space, right? The people are
mm,
I guess they're conglomerating data from both the government and like the people and everything else, and they're using it to
mm,
make better decisions. And so it's
mm.
interesting as to how things are just becoming more and more useful for both blockchain and crypto in general. So
Yeah,
it's a cool
I
thing.
agree.
Well,
That's a good point.
fantastic. Well, when you're not setting up the and taking care of people's portfolios and doing all that jazz, and you're not sitting in front of the computer, what do you do for fun? You can't all work and no play. Can't do that all
Yeah,
day long. What do you do for
yeah,
fun?
for sure. I mean, that this reminded me of some meme that was floating around. Speaking of meme central, there was this commentary on Twitter. Everyone talks about how social media is bad for your health, but what about Excel? And also, yeah, what about crypto, the markets, that sort of stuff. So definitely, I think having some discipline to pause, reset, that sort of thing is really, can be helpful, which
Mm,
is, it's true for me. It's also true for some of the clients that we serve where, we're kind of helping them to make space in, for what they're best at, and then to basically divide and conquer, so to speak. But yeah, I am a big fan of just I would say education, especially as related to kind of improving uh, mindset, health, these sorts of things. So I love to
Okay.
read. I love, say like read, maybe go for a run and listen to an audiobook.
Nice.
I love to I do a lot of experiments around biohacking. So I
Oh, cool.
may not be full biohack mode like the I guess was that Brian Johnson who's the
Oh my gosh.
you know
Yeah,
like
that guy takes so many supplements. And
it's like a
I
million
I
dollars
do
a year on supplements.
I do kind of want his sit-up machine though. So
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
it? Like 2000 sit-ups in like 10 minutes? I'm like, yes, please.
yeah, it's certainly impressive. But yeah, and then also just some time to travel and kind of reset, be in a different space, a different part of the world is something I really enjoy. And I love also to learn languages. So I think that there's a
Oh,
huge
very
potential,
cool.
especially with a market like crypto. We're just such a multinational sort of a sort of an ecosystem here that I think there's a lot of interesting relationships to be built with people and who grew up speaking other languages.
Fantastic. Well, then I have two follow-up questions. One, what was the most interesting book you read in the last 6 months? Because you said you like to read. And then two, what language are you learning? So,
Yeah. Well, let's see. So as far as the book, I'd have to maybe maybe it's cheating, but I'd have to say two books that are kind of sticking out to me. One is this Who Not How, which I really
ooh, I like that
enjoy.
one. Yes,
Yeah, there's endless things to do, and if you're always thinking about how you're going to get it done, maybe it's the wrong approach versus collaborating. And then the
fantastic.
other is Feel Good Productivity. Is Ali Abdal. Was a physician, entrepreneur.
Mm.
I think there's a lot to be said for sort of rewarding yourself into productivity rather than punishing yourself into productivity.
There's a big difference there. Like what gets rewarded gets repeated from like a psychological standpoint. That's been
Yeah,
time and time again, right?
yeah,
I mean, what they say the statistics are 80-20 rule on the stick versus the carrot. So you have to beat people with the stick, and there's only 20% that'll chase the carrot. But psychologically, the repeat value is more in the carrot than there is the stick, right? Because eventually you just cave and go, just hit me, right? So
yeah,
in terms
yeah.
of the
It's at
stick
some point
wise,
if
right?
you're
So
yeah
yeah,
beating a dead horse, so to speak, you don't want to do that to other people, and you don't want to do that to
to
your own mind,
yourself.
your own body.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
for
Which
sure.
is good that you're taking breaks, which is good that you're traveling. That's always a cool thing. And then, like you
Yeah,
said, you're reading, so you're
yeah.
applying it, which is neat. A lot of
Hopefully.
people I've talked to that read don't actually apply it. It's all just theoretical. The cool thing is you're actually
Yeah.
doing it, which is what makes you different. I mean, that does set you aside from the rest. So,
Well, I hope to live up to those words. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, and then on the languages side, I think there's a bit of a mix. So I maybe should be more consistent than I am. But I in past lives I've studied a lot of German, Russian, and Arabic, which I think are great for the
hmm,
cryptoverse. We've got a lot in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Liechtenstein
mhm.
around crypto, and then also a lot in Eastern Europe and a lot of Eastern European expats around the Russian speaking side, and then the Middle East is certainly sort of crypto central these days. So there's a lot of opportunities there, and then occasionally a bit of just like a bit of French and Spanish. So I dabble. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. It makes me sad when the Duolingo L makes me look like I forget my stuff. It's like, you didn't come for a lesson today and then give me hell. I'm like, ah, damn it. So, yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
Something to be said for Duolingo though is yeah, I guess it may not be the perfect tool, but I say, the thing that the non-ideal thing that you actually use is better than the ideal thing that you don't do. So
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Bad is better than nothing. Bad is better than
Yeah.
nothing, which is a good term
Yeah.
to live by. All right. Well, we're wrapping it up here with the last question rounding the corner. I'm sad because this is a good because this is a cool conversation. Um, give the viewership a reason to reach out, and where do you want them to reach out to you? Like, so what platform are
Mm.
you guys most active on? Is it Discord? Is it Telegram? Is it X? Like, which one do you want people to reach out to you on, and why do you want them to reach out to you?
Yeah, so let's see. I'm probably most active on LinkedIn, which is maybe anathema for crypto. I don't know, but we do a lot of education to help bring sort of less crypto inclined people into the space, as well as
Mhm.
to stay in touch with the crypto folks. I'm also on Telegram, Signal, all the usual crypto suspects, so to speak. But yeah, and I'd be happy to to discuss collaboration areas, ways that my team and I can help with doing what we do, add value to
Hmm.
people's lives, and also I actually am publishing a book around digital asset investing. So if you want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to send you an electronic copy or even a physical copy of that. And we do as well variety of events online as well as in person. These have included some private events in Davos during the WEF, in Beverly Hills during the Milken, a couple of
Hmm.
other venues around the world, really, as well as some online panels. So if there's something where people are interested in participating or potentially speaking, that could also be a good conversation to have. So yeah, feel free to reach out about any of the above or all of the above through Telegram is fine. LinkedIn, my team and I are very active on, etc.
Fantastic. So I think we're already connected on LinkedIn. So I will definitely ask you about the book and the events. I run a couple of
Right on.
event newsletters myself, so I'll be happy to
Nice.
publish them for you. That's
Right on.
fantastic. Well, David, I mean, it was an absolute pleasure getting to know you about your project, about what you're working on. Fascinating
Likewise,
individual.
Earl.
That's really neat. I think what was it that every language you learn is another soul. So it's an interesting place to
Ooh,
be. And then
okay.
if you read the books, what was it? Your net value is the people you've met and the books you've read, right?
Okay.
So that's an
Yeah,
interesting take on it as
I
well.
like
So,
that. Yeah. What's the equation? Is it is it
well, just
people
being
plus
just
books, or is it like more of an algebraic
it's more
interaction
like
there?
just like being a modern day Renaissance man,
Yeah.
right? Like being able to read all these books, being able to
Yeah.
do all these things, travel to all these places, have all these
Yeah.
experiences, right?
Yeah.
Some people have never left the place where they were born, right? So it's interesting seeing who wants to get out there and travel and expand the mind and
Yeah.
expand the language versus let's just hunker down where I live and not stick my head out, right?
Well, I think there are definitely ways to learn. Some people go full people, some people go full books, full
Yeah,
travel, some people mix it all around. But yeah,
absolutely.
definitely good to keep growing, whatever that may mean.
Well, if the guy who's managing the portfolio has a nice broad sense of the world, I prefer that one. So thank you for doing what you do.
Fair. Absolutely. Yeah. Appreciate you doing a great job with the hosting here.
Hey, thanks. Well, appreciate you being on the show and thanks for coming on board. Guys, if you're interested in what David and his crew have to offer, I'm interested. I'm gonna go follow him now. So yeah, I'm gonna go take a look at his book and I'm looking forward to meeting at you one of your events one of these days.
Right on.
Thanks for being on the show.
Appreciate it.